Hi guys. Right, tomorrow's the 73-year anniversary. It's the supermoon, full moon, 31st of August 2023, but it's 73 years ago tomorrow, at the time that the height of the moon is in its fullness, that Yah was taken back to Egypt as a small boy. You remember the story, getting really angry with two boys older than himself. He was in the convent playground at lunchtime, St. Bernard's on Gardeners Road. He was 24 days old, a bit over 6.5 years of age, and he hears the boys arguing. Jesus was a Sadducee, and the other one saying, no, Jesus was a Pharisee, and Yah going into a rage, screaming at them, charging, going to punch their lights out. Jesus was an Essene. And then he goes through the veil of time to be in Egypt, rather having walked from Egypt, now in the Carmel area, sitting on the step of the synagogue, being very critical, as a small boy is, of the rough workmanship of the mortar between the steps and the very rough, dark wooden doors with the iron hinges behind him, when he sees in the distance his mother Mary, and she says to him, she's up walking down the incline about 30 meters away, and says, Jesus, Jesus, come. So he gets up and runs to her thinking, what do you want, woman? I'm really tired. Looks up and she says, Jesus, I have something to tell you. If the Jews find out we are Essenes, they will kill us. Oh, great, he says. Okay. At that moment he looks back and he sees Joseph, who was the ward. He was not the spouse. He was the ward over Mary. He always referred to the mother and her child. He had children of his own, 6 older adult children. The youngest by this time would have been 24 years of age, but they were not husband and wife, though it seemed like they were, to protect Mary. So that was, he looks back, he sees Joseph, a very big man, long, scruffy beard, long hair, and very grey, wearing a grey tunic with the stripes of red and black down the left-hand side. And Joseph himself, having come out of the synagogue with his arms over the very short, smaller, black-haired, darker people who looked to be very pleased to see him. And then the change of scenery into, I call it the Flintstones type of cave home. And the description of the window with the 2 sticks horizontally and then 2 horizontally, 3 vertical, or whatever, vice versa, Hessian bag blowing in the breeze. When this time they've changed, and Mary says, we are going to see the high priest, don't follow us. So then Yah, watching them like thieves, trying to keep up against the wall, so that people can't see them, and he thought they were, you know, Yah saw it, so pretty stupid. Should have just, hi, if you don't want to draw attention to yourself. And then, of course, back in the schoolyard, and it was that afternoon that he was contemplating what he had witnessed, and he looked up, walking home, and said, well, God, I know that you can't be here for some reason, but you must have left yourself in creation. If you like, you can tell me, and I will tell the world. And that's, it actually all started in Yah's life, years before this, but this was another marker in time and a very significant. So 73 years tomorrow on the supermoon, 31st of August 2023. We're talking about the 31st of August 1950, 73 years ago. Now, I don't want to confuse too much with too many numbers and things, but I have been working these things. As you know, they're the blues clues in my world. They keep me happy and occupied, and Yah is watching everything I do with a smile on his face. So just to break there before I get into some of what the numbers are saying about tomorrow, there was the delivery man, a box arrived addressed to Yah and myself today, and big brown cardboard box. I opened it up, and inside was I thought that looks like a wedding gift, a beautiful white box with a pink ribbon and pink bow. So the card was addressed to me. It was a belated birthday present. So I opened it, and inside, I'll show you because I've got the photograph. Oh, actually, no, look, I'll do it this way. All right. We have a Tilly, pink lychee, triple-scented soy candle, made in Australia, established 1865. There we go. Smells beautiful. And then we have made in Australia Bonbon soap, Murphy and Daughters. This is Tea Rose. And there was this beautifully soft robe. Now, I'd actually been looking. I don't have a robe. Yah doesn't have a robe. I bought him one once and he never wore it. However, this arrived today, and I had been thinking, well, maybe I should get one, but I didn't. And this beautiful white robe arrived in this box. So I took photographs. They're over here, and I sent them. There's the box, already opened, and here's the robe. Oh, chocolates. Pink hearts and silver kisses. Last video upload, kiss, keep it simple, stupid. I have to tell you something about that too. After I did that upload, I got this random phone call, and it was 9:19 at night. Came from Western Australia. Some guy with eToro, which is being investigated by ASIC. It's a trading platform. But the last 5401, the last four digits, is fear and terror in the Greek Concordance, and that was the age difference between Yah and his older sister June. But in Hebrew, it was kiss, found 29 times, and has to do with soldiers and all kinds. But kiss. Hello, after I called the video kiss and it was up. So, and now I've got kisses. And hearts. But the kicker is, so I opened this and I'm just delighted. So I sent thank you messages with photographs already. And then I went over to, Matty sends me hundreds of photos and pictures and messages daily. And there's often clues in them. But last night at 8:33, which leads to Ashra, he sent me a scripture, but I did not get it or read it until I had opened what I thought was a wedding gift. And this is what the scripture was. Let's go back to it. It's from Isaiah 61:10. I will greatly rejoice in the Lord. My soul shall be joyful in my God, for he hath clothed me with the garments of salvation. He hath covered me with the robe of righteousness. As a bridegroom decketh himself with ornaments, and as a bride adorneth herself with her jewels. So I read that, and I thought, well, I have the robe. And talk about total Yah. To confirm, I sent the message that this is, along with the scripture, this is what happened. So it comes back that our beautiful mum, this is the mum of our 14-year-old who had the dream on the 6th of July, wanting bread going down the black hole in the rock. But she herself was clothed in white. She goes, oh wow, I spoke to Yah saying, I'm sure it's Ash's birthday soon, Yah, but I can't remember the exact date. I know it's August. Literally after I said this, you posted the video up of your beautiful birthday gifts, and I said to Yah, far out, I'm late. So I straight away ordered the gift and said, please get it there soon, Yah. I was looking at other hampers and found one, but for some reason it would not process it. It kept glitching, so I found the one I sent instead. Now I know it was Yah. Oh, wow, wow, wow. And then I said, yeah, this is so Yah. Hello, the robe of righteousness. She responds that this has brought tears to my eyes. Seriously, it is so Yah. Now, we'll go to Monica's birthday card so that I don't forget it before I come back and bamboozle everybody with the numbers, the measure concerning tomorrow. All right. Thank you again, Monica. They're always a delight. Now, for some bamboozling numbers. Oh, by the way, our resident saint over there in Ohio, that Yah's been helping all this time, he's made it very clear to her that the people with whom she works, and she works within like the health food industry, if you like, but she's begun to realise that everybody around her, well, first of all, for years she has told them of Yah and they've all rejected, and Yah pretty well has said that they don't realise it, but everything that they're doing, they are Wicca witches. Into your tarots, your astrology, and everything that goes along with that whole scene. It's totally not Yah. Astronomy is him, and the zodiac is all to do with God. As he said, it's got nothing to do with anybody else, as you will find out, because what is occurring tomorrow with the supermoon and the 73-year anniversary is actually the fulfillment of a vision that was given to our messenger on the 16th of July. She phoned me to tell me what she was shown and then sent me a very crude drawing to demonstrate what it was, and it didn't take too long before I realised that we're talking about the stars in the night sky and the constellations and where it's leading. So what she was shown then is all occurring tomorrow. It's actually occurring for some time, but it'll be right overhead tomorrow at 12 noon. And I have to incorporate my interview with Al the Angel, August the 7th, 2007, in Sydney, BC, Canada. That's on Vancouver Island. That's when I had what I call my 3-hour interview. But that, in fact, when Yah had me do the numbers on that particular day and time, and that was my ascension then. That was my calling up, my elevation, my ascension. I had no idea at the time. But, of course, it makes total sense. So he's had me measure from that day until tomorrow as well. But just to give you a rough idea of what tomorrow is all about, 73 years. Now, all right, you know Yah, he uses simple gematry, a Greek gematry, a Hebrew gematry. He uses the Greek and Hebrew concordance numbers in the measure of distance and time. So what's distance? Well, it's space and time. So tomorrow at noon, and the full moon is at its peak at 11:37 a.m. Brisbane time, Brisbane, Australia, which is Sturgham time. It's the only time that matters. All right, it will be Julian Day. Now remember, as I've taught you, we clicked over to Julian Day 2460000, and that was the 24th of February this year. So I've just been counting from that time. Day 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4. So tomorrow at noon will be Julian Day 187.58333. Now, at that instant in time, the closest star overhead is in Haya, and I immediately think, Hi-ya, it's H-Y-A, and it just happens to be numbered 44. So what's 44? Well, it's the simple gematria for Brian, hello, and it is, of course, the year 1944 of his rebirth. Now I'm going to be switching between two books because that's what I've done. I've got two books going here. And now the Julian Day itself, 1875, that's the first 4 digits. In Greek is when. Now just ask yourself, what are we all waiting for? When? In Hebrew, it's seek, inquire, require, search, which is what I've been doing. I told him the morning he left, he said, what if I have to go first? And I just said, I will hunt you down. So he's been watching everything I do, everything I record. When I go on my road trips, he's right there with me while he's being pressed into public service on the other side. So, all right, so the star overhead is 44, which is Brian in Haya. And, but in Greek, the Concordance, it means a fishing hook. And it's from Matthew 17:27, which is, they hooked a fish, and Jesus told them to go and take the tribute that was in the mouth of the fish and then go and give it to Caesar. But in Hebrew it is Abietza, which means my father is help. Now, because the Julian Day is 187.58333, the 833 in Greek is palace, and in Hebrew is Asher, it's my number, blessed, lead, guide, happy, relieve. And the simple, the word perfect, because that part, if you remember, from Ezekiel's message to our messenger, it was talking about Yah's return, and Ezekiel said that Yah's return is on track and its timing will be perfect. So I pick all of the words to pieces and look for the clues in the gematria of the words. Now, the word perfect itself has a simple gematria of 73. Hello. Tomorrow, 73 years back to Yah being taken back through the veil. Now, the magnitude of star 44 overhead is 5.1, which in Greek means error of the people. I think you can all agree with that. But in Hebrew it is Abishur, which is my father is a wall. And that reminds me, I have to measure. Oh, okay, all right. He's just reminding me about something else. All right, okay. And now it's risen for 814 minutes in Greek. That's disorderly from 2 Thessalonians 3:6. It's talking about to disassociate with disorderly people who are, they're living ruinous lives and disorderly. You are to separate from them. And in all right, I've got the 834 here. Am I looking at the 834? All right. Oh, I see. Anyway, 834 is Asher, which, when, where, how, and occurs 111 times. I like that, those 111 times. It's always Yah's birthday. Now, the rise of the star is at 5:05 a.m. So, now, get a load of this. That is the word 1,000, and it happens to be found 505 times. It's significant there. The setting time is 1839, which means be amazed, found 17 times. In Hebrew, the 1839 is the word Danites, but it actually means judge, which is what Yah is. Now, the second closest star, because they're equidistant, is YBS 4162. In Greek, it means a doing or performing a deed, and in Hebrew, it is fountain, found 5 times. Now, what's occurring at the same time is two constellations. You've got Virgo and Leo directly above, and the brightest star within Virgo is Spica, and it actually means an ear of wheat. This is all part of the vision that was given on July the 16th. And so Spica is overhead. Then also you have Leo, the constellation Leo, with Alpha Regulus, and then Beta, then Ebola, then Gamma, then Delta, and then Eta, which is the 7th letter of the Greek alphabet. So all of those 5 stars are all part of the Greek alphabet. So it's 1 Alpha, 2 Beta, 3 Gamma, 4 Delta, and then it skips to the 7th, which is Eta. And they all have a story as well with their magnitudes and rise and setting times. So I won't go into all of that. I know how people's brains get fried when they're listening to all these numbers. Also, in the heavens above at that time, Mercury, which is the messenger, it's up there for 718 minutes, and Mars is there as well. Now, some numbers about the supermoon itself. Again, this part is all to do with the vision given on the 16th of July. And I did get this from the internet, so at 11:37 a.m. the moon will be in Pisces. That was part of the vision that was given. And in miles, the moon will be distant 222,000, hello, 222, Yah's rebirth hour, adult body weight, truth and wisdom, 043 miles, which is 357,343.5679 kilometers. Now, the vision that was given on the 16th of July was focusing on the word Mesopotamia, but there was like a shield with 4 quadrants in the shield, and it went like this: fishes, scales, wheat, stars, flowers, produce, and spring. Right, we call spring, flowers and produce. All right, so I'm thinking, okay, once I clued in that we're actually talking about the night sky, the constellations, that's when I wrote flowers and produce equals spring. And Friday in Australia, Friday in my world is Fly Day, but it's the 1st of September, and that is the first day of spring in our seasons. We are ahead of you when you're in North America. Also, as part of the vision that was given were 2 arcs. Well, that's the symbol for Pisces. So the moon rising in Pisces, 222,043 miles. And, all right, so the breakdown of the numbers, Yah's rebirth hour and body weight, etc. Greek, 043 or 43 is the bent arm. Anything closely enfolding as the arms of the sea, for example, from Luke 2:28. In Hebrew, 43 is my Father has gathered. The purpose for Yah, that we're not seeing him now, the silence in heaven. Marley, I read your comment and you are so right. You like to listen to me because it's keeping you connected to Yah, but you miss your Father's voice. That is the silence in heaven for the space of about half an hour. Heaven is where Yah and myself are. It's here on the earth, the two of us together. I'll explain in a moment how that works. It's the Revelation 8:1. So, all right. Let's take a look at the distance in kilometres, 357,343.569 kilometres. In Greek, 3573. Now, what's interesting is the one that alerted me to, because she asked about it on May the 6th, she says, what's with 73? Getting 73 a lot lately. At that time, I thought it might have been the approaching Julian day, which was only 3 days later, but it wasn't. And then I discerned, I found pretty quickly after that, okay, it's a simple geometry of perfect. Yah's return is on track and its timing will be perfect. She also had, on another day, what's with the 35s? A receipt for $35.35, then given table number 35. Okay. So this number is 35 because the 35 she came in with first, and then 73. It means slumbered. From Matthew 25 verse 5, quote, while the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. Who's they? Most people that you know, probably. In Hebrew, it's twice wicked Cushan, and Cushan was a Mesopotamian king, so that takes us back and is the link there with the Mesopotamia vision, because in that vision that was shown, the focus was on the word Mesopotamia. Well, that alerted me to, okay, we're talking about astronomy here, the zodiac, Mesopotamian zodiac, but also there was a battle of Mesopotamia in World War I that was fought. So now, getting over to Revelation 8:1. Yah was, until that Julian day 0000, Yah had been gone for 144.09931 days. So adding on from Julian day 00 until tomorrow at noon is the 187.58333 days, for a total of 331.68264 days. Well, in there is your 3168, Lord Jesus Christ, but looking at the 3316, that's pretty significant too, because it means mediator. Mediator. It's certainly Yah pressed into public service to be the mediator. And now, it means that in that time that Yah's been gone, where we can't see him, 331.68264 days, it means that the earth has travelled a distance. I'm just going to tell you without going into how you get there, it's pretty simple. The earth has travelled 343,573 680.227 miles, divided by the speed of light, which we know on the Earth is constant. It's not once you get into outer space. However, on the Earth, it is 186,282.392 miles per second. So we've got the distance in miles that the Earth has travelled. So divide it by that 186,282.397 will give you the seconds it takes light to travel at the speed of light. And it's 1844.37008413 seconds. Divided by 60 is 30.7395 minutes. Which is what? Well, if you divide it by another 60, it is 0.512325 of an hour. The space, the distance that the Earth has travelled at the speed of light is about half an hour tomorrow at noon. It's just a fraction over. Now, I have to put in here a disclaimer because these are my findings, and it's going to be about the space of about half an hour, all out to Yah's, the anniversary on the 3rd of October when he left the building called Harvey Bay Hospital last year. It'll be, I think, about 33 minutes, which is about half an hour, or 27 minutes. That's about half an hour. It's about half an hour. Space of about half an hour. But tomorrow at noon, 30.7395 minutes at the speed of light, and Yah is the light and the life of all men, at the speed of light, the space of about half an hour. All right, now, speaking of light, here we go. I thought I had got through all this when Yah just lays it on me to, all right, now measure the distance in time from, it was February the 5th in the year 6 AD. That's the time he was taken back to. He was 2424 days of age. In days, it's 736,902.25 days, which is 2017.57038,613 years. Now we're only going to worry about, that's all I've done, is the Greek 2017 means light, to shine upon. Found in Ephesians 5:14, wherefore he said, awake, thou sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give the light. 2017. Now, in Hebrew, 2017 means the turning of things upside down. I think you'll all agree that Yah being back will turn things totally on their heads. People on their heads, things upside down. And it's found in Psalm, here we go, 73, verse 27, quoting, for lo, they that are far from thee, that's right, because in the 7369 as days in Hebrew means remote, as in far from. Psalm 73:27, for lo, they that are far from thee shall perish. Thou hast destroyed all them that go a whoring from thee. So it's already a done deal. Okay, getting back to, I had me do this. I had to measure the distance in time. Won't be much longer, but the distance in time in days from my interview with Al the Angel until tomorrow at noon. It was 9 o'clock in the morning when it all started with Al. The distance in time is 5,867 0.41666 days, which is 838 weeks and 10 hours. Now, Hebrew 5867 means eternity. And we can't go that high in Greek, so we have to go to 867 in Greek, because the 5 in Greek is always father, is arrival or departure. It actually says arrival, comma, departure. However, the days are 16 years, 23 days and 10 hours. Now, Yah left behind, if you remember from my first upload after Yah left, explaining it all, part of it was the night watch. Well, this is the night watch that was left under Yah's pillow, and I found it on the 5th of October, which was, the first time back in the house after he passed, and I found it under his pillow at night time. So it's the night watch that was described in the heavens at that time. Now, mysteriously, the night watch, it was 7 minutes behind in time, but the day and the date were correct. I don't know how this happened, because I would have it lying like this on my side table. I found it face down. It had fallen on the floor, and you can see right on the 12, which is either midday or midnight, it's shattered from the inside. There's no ridge, there's no crack on the outside. It's shattered on the inside. But the time moved to 16 minutes fast. Remember, it was 7 minutes slow. It's gone to 16 minutes fast. So it's now 23 minutes. 16 plus 7 is 23. Now remember, I just read to you 16 years, 23 days, and 10 hours. Now the thing about this is that it is set on the right day. It says Wednesday, which it is now, but it is 5 days behind. It says today's the 30th, this reads the 25th. So that all happened in this, me turning it over going, okay, well, the night watch is shattered on the inside, right over the midday, midnight. It's gone 16 minutes fast, and it's 5 days behind. And here it is here, reflected in the time, the interview with all the angels, 16 years and 23 days and 10 hours. Right, the 5867 of the days in Hebrew is eternity. The I've already told you this, the 867 in Greek is arrival, departure. The 0.41666 days, 4166 in Greek, is shepherd. And the big shepherd twice. Small shepherd 15 times, but the big shepherd twice. 4331 I have here, and I'm not, oh, okay, that's in the years. I won't go there. I think I have to, yeah, that can't be right. All right, okay, look, I'm just going to leave it at that. You get the drift. Tomorrow's a really, well, it's a perfect day. Perfect supermoon happening at the perfect time. Perfect 73 years till Yah's going beyond the veil in the schoolyard. And, yeah, a perfect surprise. What I thought was a wedding gift. Turns out it is. It's from Yah. So that's it. I'll say goodnight to everybody and have a great day tomorrow and the next day. Remember Friday, it's the first day of spring here. Spring is in the air. That's one of paintings, my favourite painting actually, and it was hanging in the gallery during our reconnection weekend, which was the Anzac weekend in the year 2008, when I had 3 paintings hanging in a gallery, and Yah was there with Mary, Michelle, and a whole bunch of other people. And the 3 paintings were apostles. In the beginning was thought, and it was gilt-edged, meaning edged in gold, and spring is in the air, all finished in gold. All right, later, Gators.